Death, and Robots Season 4 is here. It's a season packed with visually stunning animation, wild sci-fi concept, and those signature short bursts of dystopian storytelling that we've come to expect. But after finishing all 10 episodes of this season, I walked away with some mixed feelings. On one hand, I thoroughly enjoyed it, just like I usually do. But on the other hand, something kind of feels off. Either the show is slipping, or maybe I'm starting to fall out of love with it. So let's dive into what worked, what didn't, and whether this latest season holds up against its predecessors. Right off the bat, I want to say that Season 4 is still good. It's not bad. In fact, I actually like 9 out of 10 of the episodes. That's a pretty solid ratio. The animation across the board is top tier as always. The creativity is still there, but the magic, it's not quite the same. There's a sense that the show is either running out of steam or playing it too safe, and that's something I couldn't shake, even as I was enjoying the ride. Let's talk about the episodes that stood out, starting with the weakest one for me. Episode 1, the one about the red hot chili peppers. The animation was slick and cool and eye-catching, but that was just about it. It felt like a music video more than a story, which that was the point, but while that's fine for some, I tune into Love, Death, and Robots for the story-driven entries, the ones that leave me thinking after the credits roll, and this one was just kind of noise. Pretty noise, but it was still noise. Now, for the stronger entries, I really enjoyed the episode titled Spider Rose. It was easily one of my favorites of the season. This one had emotional depth, a real arc, and a stunning animation. A woman surviving in space after losing everyone, including her husband, only to form a bond with a strange alien creature. That's Love, Death, and Robots at its best. It had heart, it had style, and it felt complete, which isn't something I can say about every episode this season. For example, the MrBeast episode. I was expecting not to like it because, they're including people like that, whatever. But this surprised me because it was actually pretty good. People were going into space to fight off mutated dinosaurs. And while it sounded ridiculous, it was in the best way a creative, fun, and weirdly compelling story. The inclusion of MrBeast worked better than expected, and the visuals were killer. There's 2 cat episodes, for example, and they were both hilarious. Quirky, humor, clever writing, and charming animation made these stand out, as these comedic entries in an otherwise dark lineup served as great palate cleansers between the more intense or even abstract episodes. The live-action Alien Visit episode was also one of my favorites. This one had so much potential. It had the look, the vibe, and even some intriguing world building, but it kind of let me down because when it just started getting interesting, it ended. It was over. It felt like there was a 2-minute conversation and we were done. That's the recurring problem I had with this season. I feel like ideas that were half-baked or just kind of rushed. I get they were short, but some episodes were literally just like 4 or 5 minutes. And they would introduce a concept, tease, maybe something like that, and just kind of move on. And I feel like we only had a couple episodes that are actually only like in the 15-minute mark. So, I don't know. But there's where my real frustration comes in, because Love, Death, and Robots started off with a bang in Season 1, had 18 episodes. Each one was unique and memorable, and Season 2 dropped down to 8. Season 3 finally bumped up to 9, and now we're back up to 10. And so yes, it's better than last season in terms of quantity, but the drop from the initial burst of content is still kind of felt. And it's not just the number of episodes, it's a depth. Season 1 gave us stories that felt like mini movies, while the Sonny's Edge episodes, or the dystopian ones where families were only allowed one child, those hit hard. They had themes, stakes, commentary. Season 4 doesn't really offer anything on that level, aside from the Spider Rose episode, for example. And I really did enjoy the 400 Boys. Nothing this season really makes me pause and think. Nothing challenged me the way that previous seasons did. Most episodes this time around either ended too quickly or didn't seem to know what they were trying to say. Despite my complaints, I still enjoyed this season. I really did. There's still a place for short, weird, beautifully animated sci-fi stories and Love, Death, and Robots as it continues to deliver on that front. But I think we're past the show's peak. Season 4 is definitely the weakest so far for me, not because it's bad, but because it plays too safe and doesn't take as many big swings. The show still shines, but it's a dimmer light than before. My rating is an 8 out of 10. It's worth watching. There are some fantastic episodes in here, but if you're chasing the magic of Season 1, don't be surprised if you come away feeling like something is missing. So, what did you guys think of Season 4? Do you agree that the show's maybe slipping a bit, or do you think it's just evolving into a new direction? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more future reviews. Thank you guys for watching.
They're falling. This dude eats a lot of lentils. If he ever lights a candle,